That working? Perfect. We're live. I haven't been live in a long time. Let me just move my phone, which has notes for tonight, over to that side. How's everyone going? Just checking out the comments now. Hank says New Zealand Warriors, much love from Oakland, USA. Good support there. Family in Canterbury, big Bulldogs fans, but I like the Panthers and the Storm. Yeah, I know, front runners, but I like their team colours. That's fine, man. It's good that you're supporting all the way from America. I think that's fantastic, man. Let's go Panthers, says Max Brandon. Let's hope Manly. I hope Manly make the 8 this year, says Josh LC. NRL Jai stuff says, where's Hayden? Yo, I guess I was a little bit late, running 2 minutes behind schedule. So I do apologise for that. So I'm here because my NRL ladder for 2020 or 2021, sorry, wasn't great, apparently. Now, I guess I will, if I'm right about the Knights, then I will say that if I'm wrong about the Knights, sorry, I will say that I'm wrong about the Knights. But for now, we'll take the Knights out of the top 4, obviously. This has been really hard to get this ladder. I guess I wanted to change a lot in regards to what you guys think. And I'll be running like a kind of thing where basically I'll put on Instagram teams versing each other and do a poll percentage to see who you think will finish higher. I could even do it like roast if you guys want to see like the over-under wins, but I think it'd be better to do like, do you think this team will finish higher? Will this team finish lower than this team? And I can build a little ladder of your thoughts, because we've only got 4 days until the NRL season kicks off. So Isaac says, I've got Knights fighting for the top 8. Well, based on this prediction that I've got, and I take into account that I've done a lot of the NRL ladder predictor, a lot of them. Hey, man, you're going to do a live reaction this Thursday. Not this Thursday. I will be doing maybe some Instagram updates. I will be at the Lees Club with RXYSB2. We're catching up. Watching the Storm and the Rabbitohs. I will probably do a live stream, though, for the Eels and the Broncos. I will definitely be attending one game, and that game is the Warriors and the Titans. Now, I want to get behind the Warriors this year at Central Coast Stadium, but I'm getting behind the Titans this week, guys. Not telling you whether that's my tip, but David Fafita in those new colours, and Tino, big Tino there. Coming to Central Coast. I don't get to watch much Titans games. I'll be getting behind the Gold Coast Titans for a match day vlog. And then next week, so will be Eels and Storm next Thursday night. Now, that will be my 100th NRL vlog. So that is really, really big milestone that I'm looking forward to. But, guys, let's get straight into this. Let's do it. I've worked out the finals as well based on this with the top 8. I've got top 5 try scorers from 1st to 5th, as well as top point scorer. I didn't go for the whole Dally M. Oh, you know what? I'm going to chuck it in there. Right now. Go for the Warriors? Nah, man. Like I said, I will be getting behind the Warriors for Central Coast games. It's very close to me, so I will be heading down to a lot of those games this year when I can. Dally M. Top 5, though. This is hard. Warriors will win the league, says Kiwi Shadow New Zealand and cricketing. Anyone in the comments getting behind him and cheering on the Warriors this weekend? Because I'll be at the game, but I want to go for Titans here just in this game. Just got a feeling. Make sure you like the video, guys. We have 13 people on, which is fantastic. It's good to see you all again. Just a reminder as well, which I'll mention throughout the video, as we do have a sponsorship running until basically midnight tonight. You can still get T-shirts from Conehead Clothing. This is the Sevo knocking James Tedesco version out. Make sure you use code the eHouse10 to get 10% off that. And if you get 5 shirts, there will be 20% off automatically applied. So, yeah, that is still happening up until midnight. But unfortunately, after that, they're shut down. They've given me a massive goodbye package, so I will make a video on that. Josh L says Manly 8 but lose the first round final. Could they make the 8? Maybe, maybe not. We'll wait and see. I'm just trying to think of this Dally M top 5. It is incredibly hard to come up with the top 5. Give me 2 seconds. I didn't think to put this in. Okay, I'm going to go with... Okay, so I'm going to go with... All right, I've got it. I'm ready. Let's do this, guys. This is my NRL 2021 ladder redone because I guess it wasn't great, as well as finals, predictions, and a few little other predictions for the season. Let's get straight into this, guys. So, coming in 16th place is the team that I previously had. The loss of Cam McInnes off to the Sharks next year, out for the season. Tyson Frizzell heads to the Knights. I kind of want to see this team do well. A lot of people expecting, it's always the team that people are expecting to get the wooden spoon don't end up getting it. But I feel like this year will be a little bit different and we can all predict it. And it is the St. George Illawarra Dragons. A lot of young talent coming through with Cody Ramsey. Adam Clune looks very comfortable in that halfback role. Ben Hunt captaining the side. I think he'll be in for a big year, but unfortunately, I think the Dragons will take home the silverware there. In 15th place, realistically, I've gone with the Brisbane Broncos. Not much compared to last season. And honestly, if I'm going off that trials performance, I think in my pre-season prediction, I've got them around 12th, 13th. But I just, based on that pre-season trial, they led the Cowboys. They got a really good start, and they just had that second half syndrome again. They're going to be without Katoni Staggs for the first 8 rounds, which is a huge loss as well. David Fifita has obviously left this side. I just don't know about the Broncos, so I'm going to put them in 15th here. Originally, I had the West Tigers there, but we'll go with the Broncos in 15th. In 14th, I just mentioned them. I'm going with the West Tigers. Now, the West Tigers are a funny team to get a read on. I don't know if they're going to gel together this year as their first year, but they have recruited quite well, in my opinion, in the off-season. If James Roberts is firing, he could be in for a massive season. Dane Lurie looks like a fantastic option to bring into the side. He looks like a very young gun with a lot of potential. They lose Harry Grant. They lose Josh Aloiai, a very good front row forward. Really good signing there for the Manly Seagulls. But for the Tigers, I don't see much for them, but I think they'll finish in 14th here. So I originally had them 15th. I'm going to go 14th, the Broncos, stopping the Tigers from finishing bottom 2. Moving into 13th, and I hope you hear Golden Holden. He always tries to kind of prove me wrong, which I love. We have this little thing going where he comments on a video saying that you were wrong about the Sharks, or you'll see that you're wrong about the Sharks, and they always make the 8. Not this year, though. I guarantee you the Cronulla Sharks will not make the top 8 this year. I've got them in 13th, taking that final spot of the bottom 4. I can't see much from them. They've got, again, a lot of young guns coming through the side, a lot of try-scoring potential with Katoa and Mulatalo to be in the top try-scorer talks. But, yeah, I don't expect much from the Sharks, and I think a lot of people are having them outside their 8, and I would agree and have them towards that bottom 4. But I think originally I had them in 11th, but the more I think about it, I think there's just plenty of better sides that have recruited well, and maybe the Sharks could hit some injury woes this year, and that could really make them struggle. They're already going to be without Sean Johnson for the first couple of weeks. Moving into 12th, a team I originally had in 9th. This was before the whole Tom Trbojevic saga. I've got the Manly Seagulls here. Now, Manly, definitely a good team with Jake Trbojevic. Recruited well with Josh Aloiai and Jason Saab. It's going to be interesting to see who makes the starting lineup with Ruben Garrick, George Tafua, Cade Custon, Lachlan Croker battling it out. The hooker position up for grabs. It's going to be a really interesting season, and that's why I just think Manly are going to be a little bit of a mess. I think that Tom Trbojevic will get some good games in him. I feel like he will get some good game time. But unfortunately, I think Manly do miss the 8 this year. I had them in 9th anyway, but moved them down to 12th here, and I think it's a fair spot to put them. So, yeah, I'm putting Manly Seagulls in 12th. Moving on to 11th. Originally, I had this team in 10th, and I'm going with the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. This team will not finish in the bottom four. I guarantee it right now. Canterbury have recruited really well. They've got Kyle Flanagan. They've got Nick Kotrick coming to the centres. There's a lot to like about Canterbury in regards to the young gun potential as well. Really like what I'm seeing from Matt Dury. I think they're going to be having a really decent season. So, look, in 11th position, I've got the Bulldogs there. I'm quite high on them this year. I don't think they'll make the 8, but yeah, I think they will come quite close. In 10th, this is more of a fans one and an accurate one rather than something that I think is going to happen, because I've got the Warriors. I've got the Warriors towards the bottom, guys. I'm telling you right now. If I could, I'd probably swap Manly for the Warriors here. But in 10th place, I've got the New Zealand Warriors. They have recruited really well in the off-season. They're not going to be in New Zealand. Central Coast Stadium, they turned into a home we saw last year, and they're going to be there for a while this year as well. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, it's his final season with the NRL. As I mentioned, the recruitment, Ewan Aitken, Adam Fanua-Blake. The halves look good. Even the young forwards look good in Eli Katoa, who will be out for, I think, the first 5 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. The hooker situation's a little bit of a worry. Look, I would probably right now be honest with you. I think it would be more accurate to put the Warriors in 12th rather than 10th, but a lot of people putting them in the 8. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm not that high on them potentially. So I'm going to do the Warriors. I'm going to move it. I'm going to move the Warriors into 12th. So the Warriors finish in 12th. They finish outside the bottom 4, but it's not the season that people are predicting. Warriors 12th, Manly 10th. All right, let's move into 9th position. Just missing out on the top 8. I'm going with the Cowboys here, guys. Now, the reason I'm going with the Cowboys is Michael Morgan will be back, and I think he'll be quite fit for a big season. Valentine Holmes will become more familiar with another off-season with this club. Scott Drinkwater, it'll be interesting to see how he plays, because he'll either be wanting to play out of his skin so he gets another contract deal with the Cowboys, or if he plays okay and then is offered up to head off and play with the Broncos, as there is rumours there. But I think the Cowboys, I was doing a ladder predictor. There's a lot of winnable games in their draw. I think they're in for a good season. I predict that this is a prediction now for you, and I'll make a video regarding predictions. But I'll tell you what, I reckon that the Cowboys will spend a lot, and I'm talking at least 6 to 8 rounds of the season within the top 8. I think that they'll be a top 8 team for most of the year, but unfortunately they fall short because these 8 teams above them just get there. In 8th place, I guess it's a more accurate, though, based off the off-season. I've gone with the Newcastle Knights. Originally, I had them in my top 4. I still think they've got the potential to be top 4, but I think it's more accurate to put them in 8th with all the drama surrounding their half, Mitchell Pearce. Kalen Ponga is out for the first 4 rounds, I believe. But Kurt Mann, Connor Watson, these type of players, they'll want to have some big game back from injury. The missing piece of the puzzle with Tyson Frizzell should definitely get them in the top 8. I guarantee you that the Knights make the top 8. Whether they make the top 4 and surprise people am I right? Am I wrong? But for a more accurate prediction, I'm going to put them in 8th. Moving on to 7th is a team that I originally had in 8th position. I've gone with the Gold Coast Titans. I've mentioned at the start how good their recruitment is with David Fifita, Tino Fasua-Ma'ali. Not to mention, off the bench, you're going to have Herman Sasa, fantastic there. Jamal Fogarty looks like a really good coming through half. So they're going to be a dangerous side. They're very, very likely to make the 8, in my opinion. I'd say they're more likely to make the 8 than to miss the 8. So I'm going to put them in 7th. I'm going to put them above the Knights here, just because the Knights, I can see the Titans winning more home games than the Knights. I think the Knights' draw is a little bit tough, even though I'm high on them. So I'm going to go with the Titans in 7th and the Knights in 8th. Moving into 6th position is a team that has been very consistent over the last 3 years, and they've made the grand final in 2019 as well as prelims. I'm going with the Canberra Raiders here. I'm going with the Raiders to finish in 6th position. A lot of people have Parramatta to finish in 6th position, but the thing about Parramatta is they've still got the solid side of players that they've got last year. I do expect a better season, if I'm honest with you, from Mitchell Moses. I think that he hasn't been great under pressure, and I feel like this will be another really good season, which is a little bit worrying in how inconsistent he is. But yeah, I've got the Raiders there. I've got them right back up there. The Raiders are going to be definitely a threat in this competition again. I haven't seen anyone put the Raiders outside the 8. I'm actually waiting to see if people do put the Raiders outside the top 8. They have a few losses, though. They've lost Kotrick. They've lost Bateman. They have recruited Ryan James to the side. It's going to be a little bit different for Canberra. I think their game style, they might have to go with a different game style, but I think they'll fall out of the top 4. I can't see them making the top 4 at this stage, unfortunately. So I think I originally had them around 5th or 7th. No, I had them in 5th originally. So I'm going to go with the Raiders there in 6th position. I expect a big season from the Raiders once again in the top 8. In 5th, I've gone with the team that I originally had as minor premiers. And I'm looking at the ladder prediction, and there's a lot of games that I can see this team losing. They don't have a proper half yet. Oh, they've got Luke Keary, but a 5'8", sorry. But at the same time, I'm expecting a huge season from James Tedesco. I think he's going to have a massive, massive season, James Tedesco. And for that reason, I've got them just outside the top 4 now, but I think they'll still be good. They've got plenty of points in them. My top try scorer is actually coming from this team. In 5th place, we're going with the Sydney Roosters. Now, let me know in the comments here, guys. Do you agree? Sydney Roosters, will they make the top 4 or will they miss the top 4? The Sydney Roosters in 5th position. Now, there's 4 teams I haven't mentioned yet. I'm going to mention them right now in no order. Get excited. The top 4 in no order, but I'm about to get through my order. The Eels, the Storm, the Panthers, and the Rabbitohs. Now, do you agree, guys? Do you agree with that top 4? And do you think that the Roosters will make the top 4 or miss the top 4? George Williams and Hodgson will make them a big threat this year. Watch out for that. If Hodgson gets injured, that could cost them the top 4. You're not wrong, National Sports Loaded. Hodgson is going to be absolutely huge for them this year. I can see him having a good year, but I can see them dropping some games as well, which I've got the Raiders. You'll see how I've got them, though. I have big plans for them, but I do have them missing the top 4. My battery is on 19% there. I'm a big Roosters fan, but I think they'll miss the top 4. Stephen Warren says, I agree. All right, well, let's get into my top 4. In 4th position, I've gone with my boys here, the Parramatta Eels. Originally, I had us in 6th position. I still think we've got quite a quality side. The recruitment's been a little bit questionable, but if players are to head off to Origin, there is a lot to like about this team with Isaiah Papali'i potentially replacing Junior Paulo, for example. Say Junior Paulo has a big season and is back in Origin. Clint Gutherson a chance at Origin, so I'm not sure who would go to fullback exactly there. If Blake Ferguson fires and back on the wing, you've got Hayes Dunster, as well as there is another bloke, I'm forgetting his name, that we have. There's a few players in our top 30 squad that I like. We've still got Michael Jennings in there, but he probably won't be playing NRL again, so it's interesting that he's still in that top 30 when I had a look. But, yeah, I think Parramatta, look, it's going to be weird, but I think they're going to be decent this season. A lot of people have them in 6. I think a lot of people are expecting not much from us, and that could really put some fire in the belly. We've seen some really good performances from the Eels, especially in the 2020 season, obviously knocking off or being the only team to knock off the Penrith Panthers in the 2020 season. So I'm a little bit more cautious on us. I think we're going to have a decent season, but unfortunately, I don't think we make the big one, which is frustrating. In 3rd place, I originally had this team in 7th. Yes, I'm sorry, but I don't think this team will win the grand final, and that is the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, I think 3rd is quite a good spot to put them. I think the Rabbitohs, they're in for a big season. Cody Walker is definitely going to fire up and have a big one. Latrell Mitchell looks fit based on that Charity Shield trial. So, yeah, no, he looks really, really good, man. So, Alex Johnson ready to score tries. What else? They've got backups in Benji Marshall, Jacob Host. Who's going to play hooker when Damien Cook heads off to Origin? That'll be interesting to see if they can still win with a strange hooker. Isaac Ritchie said, I got Eels in 6th or 7th. I say Bunnies won but lose the grand final. Okay. So there, third, I got the Rabbitohs. I think I was a little bit critical on them, and especially what they did in the Charity Shield looked absolutely fantastic there. Remember, my ladder prediction was before the trials as well. In second place, my original, my original grand final winner, and that is the Melbourne Storm. I think they'll be right up there again. The Storm are a very hard team to beat. Harry Grant, full season with the side, obviously injured for the first 5 rounds or 6 rounds. So Brandon Smith gets a chance at hooker. I can't see Melbourne dropping out of the top 4. I've seen people put them out of the top 4, which I think is absolutely outrageous. Craig Bellamy's still coaching this side. Ryan Pappenhausen is going to be huge for the Storm. He's going to become and step up as a leader, in my opinion. So they're going to finish up runner-up minor premiers. So who does that mean finishes in the number 1 spot? Well, speaking of back-to-back, because people are talking about the Storm going back-to-back, I think the Penrith Panthers are going back-to-back in regards to minor premiers. Penrith have a lot of points in them. Cleary has had really good trials, coming off a really good season. You've got Api Coruscant, who's coming through as a fantastic hooker. Really good front row forwards as well. Penrith, for mine, are honestly the team to beat. And a lot of people are writing Penrith off this year and saying, oh, they'll drop out of the top 4. They'll become the hunted rather than the hunt. No, Penrith are going to be very dangerous. They're not going to go on a big winning streak, for my opinion. I could see the Panthers getting in a row, maybe 8 to 9 games at some point in the season. But I think Penrith finish up minor premiers. So there you go, guys. The top 4 revise are Panthers, Storm, Rabbits, and Eels. And then the Raiders, the Titans, the Roosters, and the Knights, the bottom end of the 8. Let's get into the 2021 final series. Now, I've gone with week 1. You'll have the Panthers versus the Eels to get into a prelim. And as I mentioned, they're red hot. They're in some great form in the back half of the season, coming into finals with a little bit of experience with the grand final last year. I'm going with the Penrith Panthers there. So Penrith Panthers to knock off the Eels and make it through to prelim 1. Next one, you got the Storm and the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs have done a fantastic job to get into 3rd position, but I just think that the Rabbitohs will fall short to the Storm and have to play a week 2 finals in that one. So Storm and Panthers through to prelim, just like the 2020 season. Next up in the bottom half, you got the Roosters and the Knights. I've been high on the Knights this season, but the Roosters for mine. Tedesco will probably beat Ponga there. Luke Keary against who is their 5'8" exactly with Mitchell Pearce. Is it Tex Hoy or Connor Watson? I can't remember. But I just think that the Roosters will get that one. And then you got the Raiders and the Titans. Really good season from the Titans, obviously finishing 7th. A lot of people expect it, though, I guess. The finals experience is a little bit different, though. So I'm going with the Raiders to do a job there on the Titans. So far, we're moving to week 2. And you got the Eels and the Roosters. Eels at home here. So this game would probably not be at Bankwest, though. It would probably be at ANZ. Look, I'm going to go with the Eels here. I think that they can make a preliminary final. It'll be really good to see beat the Roosters, who have kind of struggled in the season and missed the top 4. Moving on to the second game, a cracker between the Rabbitohs and the Raiders. The Raiders always have the better of the Rabbitohs, but look, I just think the Rabbitohs will be fired up here in week 2 of finals. They'll want to go all the way now that they're in through week 1 and lost. They want to show that they can go all the way, and people are expecting big things from them. So the Rabbitohs for mine knock off the Raiders. Goodbye, Canberra. They bow out in week 2. Moving into the prelim, you got the Panthers and the Rabbitohs, just like last year. Rabbitohs came so close, but the Panthers got the job done. In the second prelim, you got the Storm and my Eels. Yes, I do think the Parramatta Eels can make the prelim. Even if we finish in 6th, I do expect us to make a prelim, but unfortunately we fall short, which means that the Storm have a chance to go back-to-back. Both of these teams make really good opponents for Melbourne. It is hard to pick between the Panthers and the Rabbitohs. And I feel bad if I say that Souths are going to lose their 4th straight prelim. But unfortunately, I feel like it's going to happen. They're becoming the Green Bay Packers of the NRL. And for that reason, I'm expecting a 2020 grand final rematch. I think a lot of people were expecting it with the Roosters and the Storm, and it ended up being the Roosters and the Raiders. So interesting that I've gone with that, but I've gone with the Roosters to play not the Roosters, sorry guys, the Panthers and the Storm to play in the grand final once more. Now you'll have Appy Coruscant up against Harry Grant. You'll have Ryan Pappenhausen up against Dylan Edwards. You'll have Nathan Cleary up against Jerome Hughes. These are some fantastic matchups. The experience of Cameron Munster gives him an edge over Jerome Luai for mine in regards to game experience. But I think Penrith will do it, man. I'm tipping the Penrith Panthers to take the premiership as well as the minor premiership in 2021. Huge prediction, guys. Souths to bow out in another prelim to the Penrith Panthers. So no shame in that loss, losing to the Premiers, unlike last season. And the Storm to play the Eels. The Storm have the edge over us, unfortunately. Too much speed for us. They could win by a landslide, but just making it through to the prelim shows that we can play better finals footy than we have in previous years. So there you have it, guys. The Panthers and the Storm, once again, grand final rematch with the Panthers getting revenge and their players coming out on top. Let's move into some interesting predictions, guys. Let's get into what do you guys want to see first? I'll let the comments decide. You can decide. My battery is running low and my lag starts if I plug it in. So I'll only be here for another couple of minutes. But, guys, Dally M top 5, or would you prefer to see top 5 try scorers? So Dally M top 5 or top 5 try scorers. Just going to go out and say it now. I reckon the top point scorer, it'll be between Nathan Cleary. He knows how to score some tries. Mitch Moses could score some tries and kick some goals, so he'd be in my top 3 as well. But I'm going with Ryan Pappenhausen. I think he's going to score plenty of tries this season, as you'll find out in a moment. So Ryan Pappenhausen to be a top point scorer in 2021. Dally M. I'll be happy if the Eels will end up in the preliminary finals this year. Be good, wouldn't it? Be good to see. Top 5 try scorers, 2 votes, 1 for Dally M. I guess we're going with the top 5 try scorers. So let's go with number 5. I'm going with Ryan Pappenhausen. I think he's electric. He's fast. He can steer this Storm side to some good wins, some big victories. As I said, I think the leadership is going to step up in his way. So 5th top try scorer, Ryan Pappenhausen. In 4th place, I've actually gone with a bit of a roughie here, but it looks like he'll be playing on the wing. And I've also got them around that 9th, 10th position. I'm going with Valentine Holmes for the North Queensland Cowboys. I think he's going to have a big season. He's going to get plenty of ball. Kyle Felt's been really close to being top try scorer over the years, but I just think that this year it'll be Valentine's home on the wing, shining for the Cowboys. So he's my 4th top try scorer. Call me biased here, but in 3rd position, I was trying to think of Sivo, but I'm actually going to go to the other side of the field. And someone who doesn't know how to pass the ball, I'm actually going to go with Wonga Blake. I think he's going to score quite a few tries this year for us. One, he doesn't know how to pass the ball to Blake Ferguson, and if he gets enough ball, we've seen enough of his sneaky little tries and some good tries from Wonga in the 2020 season. With more bloody ball in his hands, I think he can actually make the top 3 try scorers. So coming into top 2, I've got last year's top try scorer. I think the Bunnies finishing in 3rd. He will score a lot of tries. I'm going to go with Alex Johnston here from the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And I mentioned the Roosters. For the Roosters, he loves to take a high ball. I think he's going to have a massive, massive season. The top try scorer prediction for 2021, I'm going with Daniel Tupou from the Sydney Roosters to have a huge one. Now, guys, let's get into my Dally M top 5 before I have to unfortunately hit the hay and say goodnight to everyone. I'm the one that asked you to rank my team. Thank you, Isaac. Okay. Final thing of the night, which includes the Dally M top 5. So let's go with number 5. I'm expecting Parramatta to make the top 4 and Mitchell Moses to handle some pressure. So I'm going to go with Mitchell Moses there in 5th position for the top 5. I feel like an Eels player can make the Dally M top 5. Number 4, I'm going with the Titans fullback. If he stays fully fit, he'll get plenty of points, and I expect him to finish in 7th. So I'm going with AJ Brimson there. We've seen just how good he is. In 3rd position, I've gone with the Melbourne Storm's new hooker. He got plenty of points at the Tigers. How's he going to go for Melbourne? He spends the first few weeks out of injury, so that's why I don't think he gets the Dally M. He will probably win a Dally M throughout his career, though, and that is Harry Grant. In 2nd place, runner-up, I've gone with the 5'8" from the Rabbitohs. He's going to have a big season. We've seen just how electric he is. He's going to get plenty of ball, and that is Cody Walker. And guys, the Roosters, they finish outside of the top 4 for mine at this stage. But I think that for the first time in a few years, we have seen it before, a Dally M medal winner in multiple years in the decade. And I think he's in for an electric season. I think he's going to re-sign with the Sydney Roosters. I think that their fullback, James Tedesco, is going to be the 2021 Dally M medalist. I think he's going to have an absolutely huge season. So I'm actually taking James Tedesco to take the Dally M medal once more in the 2021 season. So there you have it, guys. Top try scorer, Daniel Tupou. Dally M medal, James Tedesco. The Penrith Panthers against the Storm in the premiership battle, and the Panthers winning the minor premiership and the premiership. The Titans and the Knights making the top 8 in 7th and 8th. The Raiders falling out of the top 4, but still remaining as a threat because they do pass week 1. So there you have it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope my predictions are better for you guys. I think it's a more accurate ladder based on the season we're going into. Just 4 days till the NRL season starts. Really excited. Make sure, guys, up until midnight, use code TheEHouse10 to get your rugby league shirts from coneheadclothing.com. I will be doing a vlog for the Titans and Warriors game. Tuesday night, I'll probably be putting up my NRL round 1 tips. Make sure, guys, if you're watching this right now, you go and comment on the giveaway. Who will finish in 9th position, as well as which shirt you want. Conehead finishes at midnight, but they have been so great in supporting this giveaway. So this video here, guys, posted 2 weeks ago with currently 17 comments. NRL 2021 launch giveaway. Go and comment who will finish 9th, as well as which shirt you want. Video only goes for 3 minutes with some fantastic shirts. And guys, I'm heading out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Live streams will be back regularly. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys.